What I have today here is a budget laptop. Technically, it's not that budget since it's still priced at 3,499 ringgit. It does come with some pretty good specs, an Intel Core i5 1335U, 8GB of RAM and also 512GB of SSD. But like what I always say, we need to look beyond the specs to know the full story. So let's start with the review of this laptop. Now this laptop, from what I can tell here, is mostly plastic, and by just tapping on the laptop's body, we can hear just from the sound it makes actually. That's how it sounds like. That isn't necessarily a bad thing because there are good laptops out there that are made out of plastic anyway. This laptop has a very minimalist and actually sturdy design, and there's just barely any flex even when I'm deliberately trying to twist it. Opening the lid reveals a 15-inch screen, and this is a IPS LCD screen with FHD resolution at 60Hz refresh rate. That's pretty standard, but with my own eyes that I have stared on way too many screens in my lifetime, I can immediately tell that the colors of this screen is just not accurate at all. It has a tint of yellow or green hue, and yeah, that appears to be true. Our colorimeter reveals that this display only covers at around 60% of sRGB color gamut, but the maximum delta E number is at 1, so I think that's some point of redemption, I guess. The maximum brightness of this monitor is only at around 280 nits, which is adequate enough for indoors use, but barely. Onward to the keyboard then. The keycap of each key is extremely rough. I have no idea why this is the case, but it just feels like there's a layer of very fine sand stuck on the keycaps. And this is something that I thought that I wouldn't like at first, but eventually I did because I really do like rough keycaps, even on my own mechanical keyboard. The typing experience is bouncy and fun, so I think that's a good thing. And many of you like number pads on your laptops, so you can consider this laptop as well. Personally, I'm not a fan of the number pad since it offsets the typing zone to the left side, and it's just a bit weird. And then the trackpad. It's a functional one and it gets the job done, though the palm rejection isn't exactly the best, as sometimes I can see my mouse cursor dancing on the screen, and it does have a fingerprint scanner at the top right corner there, so you can use it to log into your Windows easily, and that is actually a very good feature to have. This laptop also has a rather good selection of ports, but I would have preferred they flipped the position between the two sides. Seriously, imagine having all of your USB sticks or external drives plugged onto the right side and then you try to use an external mouse at the same time. That is an ergonomic nightmare. Okay, we have to talk about the charger as well. So this laptop comes with a 65-watt charger and it does have a barrel jack, but I ended up not using this at all because, surprisingly, this laptop can be charged via the USB Type-C port at the side. That is a very convenient feature to have, and it's usually not present on budget laptops. And then comes the performance. Now, this laptop, as mentioned earlier, comes with an Intel Core i5 1335U chip with 8GB of RAM, and from my previous experience with this chip, it should be able to play some games. So I loaded up Genshin Impact and this happened. The frame rate is abysmal, and I double checked the graphical settings. Yes, it was running on the lowest graphical preset, but why is the FPS so low? Then I remember the Intel Core i5 1335U is only Intel Iris Xe eligible. That means it is eligible to use the higher powered Intel Iris Xe graphics, but not compulsory. And for this laptop, yeah, it is only using the most basic Intel UHD graphics, and that explains why the FPS is so low. Okay, a very quick interjection here. You can actually upgrade to Iris Xe on this laptop, but you will have to get dual channel RAM. So there is a empty SODIMM slot which I will show you later in this video. Just add a RAM in there and then it will technically become Iris Xe. I will show you a screenshot of one of the Reddit threads that I found out, and it seems to work for that guy, but I have not tried it with this laptop yet. Can we upgrade the RAM then? That is also a question that I want answers to, and it seems that we can. There is an empty SODIMM slot, and I mean it's pretty much necessary for this laptop because it only comes with 8GB, so we'll have to at least get another 8GB of RAM if we actually want to use this laptop to its full potential. For the battery life though, this Vivobook 15X K3504 comes with a 42 Wh battery, and it can last for about 4 hours if you're only browsing the web, streaming music through Spotify and some YouTube in the mix. Not bad, but I do expect more at first. So finally, for the price of 3,499 ringgit, I just think that this laptop doesn't really offer that good of a value. Personally, I would have opted for last year's Vivobook 15X M1503, which is lower in price, has a much better OLED screen that is higher in resolution and also double the refresh rate, performance that is also better thanks to the Radeon graphics. To those who are worried, yes, you still get a number pad on last year's Vivobook 15X as well. And that is all that we have to share with you about this laptop. It's a rather simple laptop, but I think the value is just not enticing enough. So yeah, I do recommend you to get last year's Vivobook instead. So we see you guys in the next video.